Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are watching now, sorry, we're a couple minutes late here. It's my fault. And if you're watching later, then fantastic, because we're going to have this posted up on our One More Page YouTube page. You can also watch on Facebook Live right now if you're on YouTube and you want to switch over. So I am Lelia Nebeker from One More Page Books. We are an independent bookstore in Arlington, Virginia. And we used to be the local bookstore for an amazing author, Angelina M. Lopez. She has since moved away, but thanks to some technology and some amazing creative ideas, she's able to be here with us now virtually. And she has an incredible guest that's going to be appearing here with her and having a conversation, Clif Kosterman. You may know him as the fantastic, the bodyguard to some amazing stars. If you're watching this, you probably know him from being the guardian of Supernatural's two stars. But he also has done some other outstanding work in the past. So I'll just do a quick rundown of that, and then I'll let them have an amazing conversation. But first, excuse me, I'm so sorry, I'm very nervous. Clif has served.
We love you. You're the professional here. Why are you nervous?
So you know how to handle pressure, Clif. Whew, you do better than me. So Clif has served as the close protection specialist for Jensen, Ackles, and Padalecki, stars of the popular TV show Supernatural. Clif has also protected Sharon Stone, Justin Timberlake, Selena Gomez, and others. He's going to talk about his journey to becoming a close protection specialist, the fascinating ups and downs of the job, and his role protecting two popular TV stars and their families for the last 13 years. And alongside him is the author Angelina M. Lopez, who, if you are not familiar with her books, she is a romance author who is a huge influence of our bookstore, by the way. I just want to say what a difference Angelina made in our community and building a relationship with romance authors, and how passionate I'm about romance books in general, and just so much gratitude towards Angelina. So this is going to be the third book in her series. You don't need to read them in order if that's what you're wondering. Is called Serving Sin, and it came out very recently. And the hero of this book is a bodyguard to very important people. So yes, thank you. That's amazing modeling. Have you thought about, you should be a book hand model if you need a second career.
Price is Right. So.
Price is Right. So we actually will have copies of Angelina's book that have a signed book plate in it, so you can order them from us. We'll ship to anywhere. I will put the link over in the chat, so you should be able to see that as a comment wherever you are. But you can also visit us at onemorepagebooks.com and follow us on Twitter, follow Angelina on Twitter, and get her newsletter because it's really great. Also, you should follow Angelina's mom on Twitter too. Actually, don't know. Is she on Twitter, or do I just get her updates from? But anyway,
Mom talks to me, or your dad?
Mom.
Mom, okay.
My mom. Everyone loves my mom in Romance Land. Yeah, she's the best.
Amazing. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you two talk. And thank you so much for being here. Oh, just again, if you're tuning in live, we unfortunately won't be able to take any questions just because of the format of the event. But we're so grateful to everyone who's watching. Thank you all so much. All right.
Thanks so much, Lilia. You guys love you guys. Love One More Page Books. Love the bookstore. Phenomenal bookstore. Please, you can order online. Go support your independent bookstores if you have one close by. Also, please support One More Page Books. And Clif, thank you. It's long in coming. I wanted to mention briefly just how this event came to life. Kind of a real dream come true for me. But so I wrote a bodyguard romance called Serving Sin, and my hero in it is a guy named Roman Shepherd.
And change my name now.
That's right. It's a good name. Roman is actually my brother's name, and so it's a good name. Yeah. So Roman Shepherd is the hero, and he is the head of an elite protection service, an elite protection firm, security firm. He's the head. He's also a Texan. He's also a former Army Ranger, and he's also a prince because it's a romance novel. He's got to be a prince or a billionaire. That's what we just do. But I had, in the course of researching this book, I was learning a lot about bodyguards and protection and all of that, and just found it really, really fascinating, and thought how cool it would be to interview somebody who did this for a living, who protected people for a living. And on top of that, I'm an enormous, as I've explained, really big Supernatural fan. Kind of a little bit, as my readers will know. Pretty big Supernatural fan. It's been a big part of my life for the last few years. And I think what I love about Supernatural is its amazing escapism. It's a great escapist show. I think we've all learned in 2020, 2021, how valuable escapism is, like letting your mind relax. And it's great for your mental health. It's great for self-care, just taking it easy. Supernatural was that for me. Supernatural allowed me to relax. I think my books, I really am proud of them.
It did the exact opposite for me.
Yeah, that's great. Exactly. Yes, your job, keeping them safe, allowed me to relax. That's exactly correct.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. No, keeping these guys safe is very important to the fandom. Yeah. But, I think romance novels are about escapism. My books are about escapism. And so I kind of married those two things together when I said, hey, you don't know me, but I write books. And could I interview you about the interesting job of protecting people and protecting famous people? And you very, very kindly and generously said yes. So thank you. I am thrilled to be here today with you.
I'm thrilled to be here.
At the beginning, middle, and end, I'm going to say thank you for keeping these two guys safe. That's been very, very important and valuable to us. And if you're a Supernatural fan, important to you. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about you, your start, all of that good stuff. Now, I've been saying bodyguard romance, that this is a bodyguard romance about bodyguard, but your actual title is close protection specialist. Is that right? You're a close protection specialist.
When you tell people that, they go, huh?
Yeah, sure.
So I say bodyguard, they go, oh, okay, great. Can you beat somebody up for me? I don't think they understand how that
works. Can you beat somebody up for us? That's probably not part of your job.
No. If I'm beating somebody up, I'm not doing my job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Your whole job when you do it, the bodyguard close protection thing, is you're the guy that runs away.
Yeah.
I'm taking you, I'm getting out of here, because if I get into a situation and I'm being, distracted, or I'm being taken away with taking care of something else, you're standing there all by yourself now.
Yeah.
So it's the whole job's about running away to fight another day.
Really, it's about avoiding these situations.
Absolutely. I could count on one hand in the close to probably 35, 40 years I've been doing this, where I've actually had situations.
Wow.
Because I'm the first guy to say, no. That's one of the things, is being able to talk your way out of a lot of stuff.
Which I think,
trust me, I've had to.
I think the contrast, this is one of the first things I think people assume a bodyguard is, assume a close protection specialist is one kind of person, which might be pretty alpha and pretty aggressive.
Sure. And
what you're explaining, the reality of it, it's an entirely different type of personality type.
Because that's all you ever see on TV is, such and such's bodyguard did this, or such and such's bodyguard did that, or, you never see anybody saying, hey, well, today for the last 12 hours, I sat in my truck and, just made sure that nobody came around. Nobody cares about that stuff. They want to see if somebody did something wrong or if they did something right.
Sure.
Just the day-to-day stuff is the stuff that's tough to do. People understand how hard it is just to be on game, on point for 12, 14 hours a day.
Oh, gosh.
Just standing and waiting.
Yeah.
For something and hoping it doesn't happen, right? And watching, making sure everything's okay. And so it's a lot different than what people see on TV. It's not Kevin Costner.
It's not Kevin Costner. That's right.
But ironically, I have a story like that, but still. No, I didn't shoot anybody in the snow. I didn't have to close my eyes and do this. But, no. Right.
No, it is a fascinating thing of this idea of, it is, most of us don't have an attention span past 10, 15 minutes. Right. We get bored, much less
except
12,
Supernatural
14.
Fans.
That's true. No, we have a pretty good and detailed,
very detailed,
close attention span. Yeah. We know which shirt was award when and in which episodes, correct?
Oh, 100%. I love that. I'll just go, okay, wait a minute. I don't know what that is. And I'll just quickly throw a little teaser out there. Does anybody know what blah, blah, blah in this episode? Blah. And they'll come back and go, wrong episode. It happened then. It happened this. It was this. It was that. It was that. And I go, perfect. Thanks.
The fandom has been one that has been, I've always been a fan of things, but I've never encountered anything like Supernatural. We're totally,
we're going.
We're rambling.
We
could just chat. No, this is what's fun. We could just chat. tell us about how you got started. You said 35, 40 years in this business. Tell us about how you got started in this business.
My first gig was actually when I was 16 years old, and my cousin was a local singer, local talent, and she would sing at different events like hockey games and race car things and stuff like that. And so her parents needed somebody to escort her, to take her out there and make sure that she was okay. And at that time, I was a strapping young fella, well, full of everything, and I said, sure, I'll do that. So that's how I first started, and then going along, doing the whole, turning 19 and starting to work in nightclubs and bars and things like that, and just knowing that I really enjoyed what I was doing and doing that sort of stuff and making sure people were safe. And then going a little further, came into I'm old. I'm about to date myself here. 1990, I went to bodyguard school in Aspen, Colorado, and got my training out of that. Came back home, and then odd jobs here and there with different business people and things like that. And my brother got me involved in the film business at that time. I'd already been in a little bit doing in front of the camera stuff, so he got me told me what to do. So I went and got with the Teamsters Union, and then just slowly got there. And then we got to Sharon Stone came to town.
Okay.
And she was looking for somebody new. She had just recently parted ways with her previous person. And so when she got there, she said she was looking for somebody new. So there was three of us in town. There were sort of same abilities and talents.
Sure.
And so we all, first guy went in, did his interviews, and then for about a minute and a half. Next guy came out in about 45 seconds. I walked in, and as soon as I walked through the door, she looks at me and she goes, "Those are the sideburns I want on my guy." At that time, I had some pretty nice chops going on. Not the full Santa beard, yeah. But then I just thought to myself, this is pretty good. So I was in there for about half an hour. We just talked, and that's basically how I got that was my first official gig in there. And my brother even said to me at the time, he goes, it's just one gig. So it's not, you're not really doing the job yet.
Yeah.
And then right after that, came on to many others, Kurt Russell and Kurt Russell and JT, Justin Timberlake, Selena Gomez, these guys, these supernatural dudes, which took up a major part of my life. So, sure. Yeah. So that's a big chunk of it right there. Yeah.
So just in general, what are the duties of a close protection specialist? Kind of what is, again, we have the mythology of it, what we see on TV, but what are the duties? What do you do? What is your job in general?
I mean, safety, of course, is the first thing.
Sure.
That's to make sure that they're safe. So that's in, vehicle operation, or, just coming in and out of homes, going back and forth to the office or things like that, just to make sure they're okay. But when you start to being with someone for as long as I've been with these two fellas, it turns into much more than that. It turns into, basically doing like executive assistant type job, right?
Sure.
So, I mean, like I say, if we're at the studio or something like that, and we're sitting for 10, 12 hours, extremely bored. So I would take care of booking flights, restaurants, hotels, all sorts of things, events, things that we want to go to.
Sure.
And just taking care of the day-to-day things that they need to do. And anything they need to get done.
Yeah.
Just go and get the M&Ms if they want them. So.
I don't really need you to beat anybody up for me, but I would love it if you would go get me some M&Ms, because that
just green ones, right? No other color.
Exactly. So what is this about this job that appeals to you? I mean, you said, starting the bars and that it appealed to you. You went to school, you did all that. What did you like about doing this job?
I think it's something I've always wanted to do. I've always been a protector.
Sure.
I've always been that person, because even when I played hockey or lacrosse or football, anything I did, it was always defense.
Yeah.
So I was making sure I was protecting my goalie, or I was protecting my wingman, whatever I was going to do, whatever sport I was in. So it just kind of fell that way. I thought about for a while about doing policing and stuff like that, and I thought it's not really what I want to do. So I just really enjoy it, and I feel good. I feel great doing it.
Yeah.
It's I mean, gosh, 60 years old.
And looking great, looking 40.
So I mean, I've been doing it a long time, so obviously it's worked out.
Yeah, you think?
It's been okay. It's been okay. Yeah.
Well, and we've gotten to know each other a little bit through the course of this. You've been so amazingly grateful and generous.
We had pizza.
Yeah.
And she had beer, but I just had pizza and Diet Coke at Family Business Brewing. You should go there. It's very good.
Very good. No, very good.
There's a plug.
No, but you have this nature that makes it the idea of you being a protector when somebody is with you. And again, the mythology versus the reality, which is somebody who is kind and who is gentle to be around and who just feels like somebody who will not, who will keep you safe. That you're not the kind of person that feels you have to lead it, be the biggest voice in the room. You're somebody who will, and again, it's the mythology versus the reality. And
that's a huge part of it. That's a huge part is being able to just blend. Yeah, I blend, right? Yeah, easy. To adapt to just about any situation you go into.
Sure.
You put a suit on, you can still fit. You still fit in. People just go, who's that dude? But, that's a big part of it is the adaptability.
Yeah.
Of being able to, where are we going tonight? Well, we're going to do a black tie ball. Okay, perfect. I'm in.
Wow. Yeah.
Where are we going? We're going to the beach. I'm in.
More in than the black tie, but I'll do whatever.
Can I get a black tie and shorts? I'll be fine. Yeah.
Well, so I wrote about a bodyguard in Serving Sin, and there is and this bodyguard romance. That is a trope. That is a a lot of people will write about that because there's this very idealized romanticism about that character, this hero type. My character is stoic, he's loyal protector, but that romanticized look could actually be maybe a wrong reason to get into this line of work. Perceive me as a hero, look at me like a hero, which is how we write when we're writing about them. But that may not be the best reason to get into the line of work. What do you think if you're advising somebody who I may want to do this job? What's your advice? These are the right reasons to do it, and these are the wrong reasons to do it.
Yeah, we actually talk about that. There's groups that we have, and we talk about things like that where clients start to get sort of, too close to their clients. Protectors get too close to their clients. And a bunch of guys I know that have that situation happen have gone, okay, well, if that's gonna happen, then I need to move on.
Sure.
I'll bring you somebody else in, and then they'll take care of you. And if it's a relationship that we're gonna have, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can sort of go with that. This job is extremely time consuming for me.
Mm-hmm.
There are others out there that are different. I know friends of mine who do musical tours and stuff like that. So they'll go for 3 months and then they're not doing anything for a month and then they come home and stuff like that. For me, for the last almost 15 years, it's been pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
And so you're going away a lot of travel, which is great. Get to go to places I never could go to on my own.
Yeah.
Eat in restaurants where I'm like, oh, yeah, really? But so if someone's getting into this thing, get into it for the reason that you want to be that person. You want to be that protector. You want to be that person. You don't want to get into it. There's no money in it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right? It's not like, oh my God, I'm going to get in and make $400 an hour. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So that is not a motivator. The motivator is to get into it, to do exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Making sure that the family's safe or your client's safe, whichever you're doing, whichever part you're doing for them at the time. And be able to go at any time, go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you watch on TV, you got your go bag, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
If you're with that kind of client. Some clients are strictly office clients. It's just, drive to the office in the morning, pick you up, drop you off, take you home.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's it. But for the last few years have been different because Jared and Jensen, families and homes, so there's a lot more home. But before that, it was, as you know, our convention circuit is three weekends a month for the longest time.
Yeah.
So you're constantly gone. So family life, you're of your own, and that sort of thing takes a hit.
Sure. Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into a little bit of what we've got kind of started with. If you are just tuning in, just a little side note, my name is Angelina M. Lopez. I'm a romance writer. I wrote a bodyguard romance, and Clif Kosterman, who has been protecting Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki of Supernatural for the last almost 15 years, is very, I am grateful that he is here having a conversation with me about his job. So how did you first get involved with Supernatural?
Funny. I was actually in the film business. The Teamsters handle all the driving and stuff and taking care of the cast and things like that. I had my credentials that I have, and I actually got a call from production in season 1 saying that our lead cast member's family is coming to town, and could I come over and take care of them while they're here? I said, absolutely.
Oh.
Sorry, you're in the wrong place.
Sorry.
But hi, nice to see you.
Guest star
showed up.
No. Okay, Teamsters
Brilliant.
family.
Brilliant.
Family.
Brilliant.
I heard it coming.
Oh, yes, we did. Sorry, I can't remember where it was.
Teamsters.
Yeah, Teamsters.
Can you come protect this family?
Yeah, can you come protect this family?
Drivers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and it was for the lead cast, and I didn't know about the show yet. So
Okay.
I knew we had the show being shot because everything's going on in town. So when I got there, it was Jared's family, his mom and dad, Jeff, Megan, sister and brother.
Sure.
And that was my first gig on Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and then for the rest of season 1, I would go in and out on that show, just doing other jobs, odd jobs, driving here and there. I think Jeffrey Dean was in season 1, wasn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I took care of him for a little bit, and that before he became Jeffrey Dean.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Sure.
Yeah. So, and then in season 2, I got cast in season 2.
Yes.
That epic Folsom Prison Blues. Tiny, of course. I got cast in that in season 2, but at the same time, I was still doing my odd jobs with them, and then I had other jobs in between and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then season 3, or near the end of season 2, they asked me for season 3 if I'd be interested in coming on as security for the 2 guys, and I said sure, of course. So season 3 rolled around. Season 3 started out, and they called me up, said, "Do you want to come in and do the gig?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I came in, and a couple other guys, once again, applied for the job. They picked me. Lucky guys. I wasn't lucky. They were lucky because I knew the other 2 guys. Anyways, so I started to do the job.
Yeah.
Which was, it's them in the car, the 2 of them, and then I'll say his name. I don't care. Bob, the driver, was in there. Me, and Jared's 2 giant dogs, which were always in there. So for the first couple of weeks, we'd all travel together, get there. I'd meet them at SAT, and they'd come in with their driver, Bob.
Yeah.
And then one day I'm at the studio waiting for them to come in. Jared had already come in, or Jared wasn't working that day, I don't think. Sorry. So we're at the studio, and Jensen's on his way in with Bob, and then Bob comes flying into the parking lot by himself, nobody else in the car, and gets out of the car and throws me the car keys and says, "Expletives, it's all yours." I said, "What?" I said, "Where's Jensen?" He goes, "I don't know. I dropped him on the side of the road." Not a word of a lie. And it's not a word of a lie. He literally dropped Jensen. I guess they had a little thing. Something happened. Bob went off his rocker.
Oh, my God.
Dropped Jensen off somewhere down the road. And so I'm like, okay. So I got in the car, and I said to myself, okay, he's been dropped off. He's been dropped off in this area. Okay, I know it's in that area. I'm pretty sure I could figure out where he's at. So sure enough, I drive out, and I go to there's 2 coffee spots that are near this area.
Sure.
So I went to the first coffee spot only because it was first in line. I didn't go directly to it. First one, and sure enough, he was sitting inside there.
Oh my God.
So I just walked inside, said, "You good?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm good." I said, "You need some time?" He goes, "Yeah, just give me a few minutes." So I waited. He came back out. We went back to the studio, and then I just went to production and said, we discussed it a bit between the guys and I, and then went to production and said, hey, if you want, we don't need anybody else. I can do both jobs here. No
Sure.
problem. That was it. So
that was 2003. I mean, not 2003. Third season.
Third season, yeah. So whatever year that is, someone will tell us. I'm sure it'll come up. Somebody's out there right now. Can I text him? Quick, somebody text me. Oh no, it's not. No.
Yeah.
What year that was? Yeah. And and then the rest is,
That is amazing.
history.
And I really want to underline this fact that at that point, this kind of rest is history for that next, third season on. This is what you did. You
Yes.
were the post-production specialist for these two guys. That's really rare in this line of work, right? To have
two people.
Yeah.
It is. And for the longest time, it wasn't hard because we were, the Three Musketeers.
Sure.
We went everywhere together. We ended up all living together. We had a house together in Vancouver, and it just made everything easy for everybody. So we're all here, so it made it just simple and that. And then, of course, when they, got married and moved on, had their kids, stuff, then things start to separate a bit and stuff like that.
Sure.
But usually we were together. Whenever we were in conventions, we always, out for dinner together. Whatever we did, we're always together. So so it made it easier. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and why? So you have been at times their driver, their housemate, their protector, concierge, travel agent. Why? I mean, why does it work? You think, and I put this in context because a lot of us are we can't even hang out too long with our spouse and our parent. They're like, okay, 2 weeks or, let's take a break.
Yeah.
My husband's traveling in a few days for 3 days and we've been through a pandemic. And I'm like, I love you so much. I'm so looking forward for you to be gone, and he is too. Love you, babe.
Yeah, by the way, he's in the room. He's back there.
And he helped us, and this would not be working without him.
Yeah.
And he knows.
Yeah.
And
he's the roadie tech guy because I couldn't do it.
Yeah. So just in context, I think a lot of us, that kind of closeness with people we're not, in a relationship with, not related to, is very difficult. Why did it work for you, Jensen and Jared, that kind of closeness for such a long time?
I think it works for anybody who's a real professional in the profession that we do.
Sure.
We pay attention.
Yeah.
And we know that you like this. We know you like these restaurants. We know you like these hotels.
Sure.
And we listen. We listen to you when you're talking about things. We go, okay, well, I know he likes to go here. He likes to go there. This is where they want to go, and this is what they're thinking about doing. So you just try and be preemptive.
Yeah, preemptive.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Of what they're thinking of what because they're saying, well, we're thinking about Thursday, maybe we'll do this. So I'll go, okay, well then we just grab my phone and I'll see if I can set that up. And okay.
Wow.
And then they go, okay, well, yeah, let's do that Thursday. And I go, okay, it's already done.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's just it's being aware and paying attention and listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all the good stuff and the good stuff.
Yeah, that's anticipating and it's being responsive and it's being, No, that's a very good point. In that, again, in those personal relationships, a lot of times you don't have that. Everyone's got their own needs and they're all conflicting. But
well, it was never. I'm not saying it was perfect the whole time either. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Because you got three alphas in there, so it can't every once in a while get.
I imagine.
But but it has been, like I said, it's been amazing.
Yeah, that's it's really incredible. And it's really interesting to hear you talk about it because that actually has been my question the whole time. Like, how do I, and I'm a person who, as a writer, I'm an introvert. I probably need a little bit more personal space than the average person.
Right.
But you guys were so, your lives were lived so much together for so long. But that makes a lot of sense of why it would work. If you've got someone kind of comfortable anticipating someone's needs and fulfilling that role. We all wish we could hire you, Clif. I do. That sounds awesome.
Well, I'm unemployed right now, so if anybody's looking,
So Jared and Jensen are really unique in the way they've really embraced their fandom. There's a lot of stars out there, and we all see them. But the way that Jared and Jensen have the fact that they have these cons, the fact that they have, even during the pandemic, they've had all these online events where they're really talking to the fans, really addressing the fans. They've embraced them both in their social media and at fan conventions. Mm-hmm. As their protector of two guys who have made themselves, in my opinion, a lot more publicly available than a lot of stars are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What special challenges does that present for you? Or does it?
There's not a lot. I mean, we've had instances at events and things like that, but this, like we're talking about the fandom, it's not. It's everyone loves being at a convention.
Yeah.
Everyone loves being there. You're there with your friends, like-minded people. It's great. You know, you get the odd one that's crazy, or crazy. I shouldn't say that. The other one that's a little overexcited. You know. But it's not a lot because everybody wants to be there and everybody wants it to happen again.
Sure.
They don't want it to end, that's for sure, right? So they can go there and be who they want to be, and know that the guys they're talking to know who they are.
Yeah.
And know what they're thinking and know what they're into. I mean, Jared and I were talking about it, and actually Jensen and I talked about it a couple of days ago. Because we're talking about the conventions starting up again. Right?
Yeah.
So Jensen, of course, is up in Toronto. He can't come back here and do a convention and then go back to Toronto. So
sure,
we can't do anything. Sorry, guys. So we can't do anything until September at least. So we're hoping. So when that hits, both of them. Jared said this morning, and Jensen as well said, we miss it.
Oh wow!
You miss it because there are people out there that you've made relationships with.
Sure,
and it'd be great to see them again. It'd be great to hug people.
Yeah.
That sort of thing, and just catch up
on
things, right? So it's just been for the it's not that tough because oh gosh, I probably shouldn't say that, but it's been pretty good.
Sure.
Because you also find out in the fandom that if you're not
not behaving well.
If you're not behaving well, the rest of them will sure let you know.
Sure, yeah. And my understanding is that sometimes the fandom will let you know specifically. Is that correct?
Oh,
if someone's
100%
being hostile or
I
inappropriate.
I don't need to go looking for stuff.
Yeah.
It comes to me, and I have good friends out there that say, this kind of stuff is happening, and everyone likes to. Even the people who aren't happy like to let everybody know that.
Sure.
And they put it on social media.
Yeah.
So and people said to me, why are you on this or on that? I said, because it's information.
Yeah.
And it comes to me, and it's so yeah.
That's really amazing. And I just want to explain, in case you're watching and we've been saying cons, Supernatural has, through Creation Entertainment, they will do conventions, 9 months of the, like a ton of months.
We were doing 13, 14, 15 a year. Sometimes.
So on a weekend, they'll come and it'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The stars will come. Jared and Jensen will come on Sundays, generally. And it's a very intimate experience. It's all the fans. You get to meet the stars. They will do events. And you also get to take pictures with them and hug them, which is super cool.
And smell them, because they smell great.
They smell great. Trust me. So anyway, so the Supernatural will have these conventions where you can meet all the stars, and it is this really
just like book signings.
That's exactly getting back to all of that goodness. Yes. In fact, I was going. Yes. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. You have the opportunity to meet the stars at the conventions. Clif is also at the convention. I first saw Clif. I've said good morning to him twice at conventions, and he is there.
Of course, I shunned her, but.
We're very nice. But anyway, that's what we're talking about when we mention conventions. How do you assess? And so talking about, the guys who are out there with the fans in a very public setting, a lot of people, how do you assess if someone is a risk to a client? How does that happen? How do you do that?
Well, part of our training for the professional guys out there that do this is observation.
Yeah.
Just watching. Watching everyone. It's funny because you go to one of the hardest dinner dates you can have is going out with other guys in the same profession, because everyone needs the perfect seat, because you got to be able to sit back, you got to be able to scan the room. So everybody's first guy in goes, oh, I got it. And you get into the other guys are like, I'm back to the room. I can't, they're all uncomfortable. I got the seat today. So it's because you want to watch. And so that's what you do. You sit down and you look at everything.
Yeah.
You look at everyone, you look who's paying attention, and you look at the person who's getting nervous. You look at the person who's doing this.
Sure. Yeah.
That sort of thing. And then even when someone gets up to go to the washroom and stuff like that, you got to watch, and usually you'll go with them.
Sure.
Because as soon as you get up, if you see someone else get up, then you know.
Yeah.
You know they're going to follow in the washroom while you're trying to do your thing and say, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, perfect timing.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But that's a huge part of it, and you can tell which you can tell which people are not going to be a problem, but which people are going to come over.
Yeah.
And so then usually if we're situated in a room, they can't see what I can see, so. So I'll say, okay, we've got, such and such. Mm-hmm. We call them bogeys. So we got a bogey at 6:00.
Okay.
And they'll say, oh, okay. Oh, coming over? I said, yeah. Okay. So they'll come over and they'll say hello.
Yeah.
Which is fine. The guys are usually pretty good about it. I'm not saying everyone come over every time you see us. I'm just saying.
Yeah. They do have private lives sometimes.
Yeah. Most people do know too, though, that when there is a time, and if it's a time that's not too, if I see somebody coming this way, I just say, hey, please.
Okay, so you can help kind of
and that's usually about it. And, and that's so sometimes you get some people that just don't stop, but
sure,
so then you have to get up and stranglehold them and take them outside. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Cliff and I, in anticipation of this event, we met at the Family Business Brewing Company in Dripping Springs, Texas, outside of Austin, which is Jensen Ackles Brewery.
Jensen and Daniil.
Jensen and Daniil and Daniil's brother. Yes. They're all, exactly. Yeah. It's correct.
Great pizza.
Yeah,
I don't drink, so I don't know what the beer's like, but the Diet Coke's good.
It's great beer, a phenomenal beer. We're probably going to be heading over there tomorrow. I was like, can we go again? Every time we've been in Austin, we'll head there. But we were there, and Cliff was a draw there as well. You had your own. I was protecting Cliff.
Busloads.
No, you had some requests for pictures. You had people, looking at people, waving, and you draw your own level of. You're definitely part of a person.
Usually they're just looking at me going, "Who's that criminal?"
No, it was adorable, but and it was nice. I mean, people recognized you, and so you get a little bit of that too. So it's interesting when you're like also the one who asked to be like, okay, they're having a family dinner, not this evening, please, not this evening.
Yeah. If you come up to me, just bring it in.
Cliff's like, yes, come for it. Yeah, no, that was, and it was fun to see that. It was fun for people to recognize. Because there is a lot of downtime, or not downtime, it's on time, but where you're waiting. And I think it would be nice to have somebody who acknowledged you're part of this big thing that Supernatural became as well. Yeah. So get a little more into a little bit more details about Jensen and Jared and this crazy, and this, this amazing life. Can you tell us about, we're here, that the protecting moments aren't, or the tense moments or a tricky moment aren't the center of what you do. It's more rare, but has there been a tricky moment that came up when you needed to protect either of them?
Let's see. Conventions, we've had a couple where we've had some very ardent fans try to rush the stage, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We've had that. But luckily, I mean, even at the conventions, I hire people is what I do, is I hire security people at work.
Oh, really? Okay.
So when you're at the convention, you'll see the ladies who work the show, who are great. They're fantastic. And they are doing the same thing I'm doing. And they're just on it, watching everybody doing what they're doing. And then you'll always see guys on either side of the stage in the suit and tie and stuff like that. There's the fellas that I put in place there. So they're the second line. The first line of defense is the ladies and then those guys.
Yeah.
So we've had a few things like that. But touch wood.
Yeah.
In my situation, I haven't really had it. Jensen has talked about his before. He had one when I believe it was in London, where this girl literally ran up to him and the security had their backs turned. I don't know what they were doing.
Wow. But
literally jumped on one and full on straddle, right?
Oh my God. So, yeah, I've heard that story.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like it was just to get close to him. But if it wasn't just to get close to him,
sure,
it could have been a whole new animal. I've had other situations with Sharon. Some guy pulled out a needle and full of blood, and he threatened to stab me with it, and if I didn't let him talk to her and things like that, But so there's been really not that much with the guys. Mm-hmm. It's just mostly just keeping people calm and so they know. Yeah, I should say. I mean, Jared now has had. The reason I actually got the job in Supernatural is because some guy went into Jared's trailer.
Oh my God.
While I was on set.
Wow.
So that was that they said, hey, this stuff is happening, and there was a few other things that were going on too.
Sure.
So they got jumped in season 1 by a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So there was a couple things.
Is that the story that they talk about? It was a bonding moment for them, that it was season 1, they got jumped and then they were able to defend themselves. And yeah.
They put a good ass whooping on a bunch of dudes. That was good.
Couple boys from Texas.
They had just come out of training and stuff. They were doing fight training things before the show.
Sure.
So they were ready to test it all. Right. Let's get in there. Let's give this a shot. Adrenaline's pumping, and hey, wow, So yeah. But like I say, we've been pretty blessed with it. It's mostly just some overzealous fans sometimes.
Do you have to carry? And I didn't write it, but do you have to carry a lot of Kleenex? Because rather than the overzealous, a lot of crying fans, right? Like just that kind of overwhelmed. Like
at the conventions, every person has. Here you go. Has the Kleenex on standby. Here you go. There you go.
I've seen the weepers,
there's been weepers, fainters, and all that stuff, right? So
I'm usually too awestruck but I've seen the weepers. Yeah.
I always love that one because I say every morning I get up, whenever I pick them up, I'm like, oh. They get in, they smell so good. Usually I'm just, geez, to bathe in that stuff, man.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. So with that, that there sometimes there are tricky moments. There's also this amazing access. So can you tell us, and you've mentioned that black tie, the beach, there is an opportunity to see things and do things that the average person doesn't get to do a lot of times, Yeah. Can you tell us one of the coolest moments that you've gotten to enjoy with them?
I would have to say that, we were in Rome, convention in Rome, and I might be using the wrong terminology. I'm not quite sure, but Jensen's wife Danielle's high school best friend was I'm just going to say this right or not, a consecrated nun.
Okay.
At the Vatican. I don't know if that's right or not.
Yeah.
And she offered us a tour. She said, "You guys want to come in?" And we're like, "Of course."
Yeah.
So it was Misha and I and Jensen. And Danielle, of course. And no, sorry, Danielle wasn't there. Sorry, Dee, if you're watching. I doubt it though. Hey, Mitch, by the way, my brother's out there. So we went there. We met with her. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but she brought a friend of hers who was with the Vatican as well. He's a theologist.
Yeah.
There. And man, did that guy know his stuff?
Yeah,
Holy
I bet.
Crap.
Yeah.
So we go inside and we meet up with the priest, right? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's good. That's right word.
I'm not very religious, so I'm getting mixed
You're
up on
doing
me.
Great. So, this is Lapsed Catholic tells you you're doing
okay,
great.
Good. All right. So we go in and of course, for those who've been there know how magnificent it is. But once you walk in, you're in awe because of where you are, right? So we got to take this great tour with this priest who showed us around, and he was from southern Alabama, I believe.
Wow,
is where he's from.
Cool.
So he took us around and showed us everything. It was amazing. And then he said he offered communion. I said, "Do you guys want to take?" I said, "Well," I said, "Well, some of us aren't." He says, "There's no problem. You can still be there." And Jensen said, "Okay, I'll do it." And so Jensen actually got to go into his chambers with him and try to help dress him and stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So then he comes out and we go out and we're walking way into the back. Like if I had a map of the Vatican, I could show you, but in the back, and we come to this one big mosaic. It's up on the wall. And he says, "We don't normally come back." He says, "We don't come back here very much, but we thought that this was appropriate." He says, "Because I know the show that you're doing, and it's Michael slaying Lucifer."
Oh my God.
Right? This mosaic.
Oh my God. God.
That's too awesome. So Jensen partook in that, and then we continued our tour, and going through the whole thing, and then going down a level and going past security to there's a few people around in different tombs and stuff that were down, like tombs, I guess. And then we went through a gate past more security, down some more stairs, in a place that I could barely fit through because the wall just arcs like this. And then I went into it, and it was a small room. I'm trying to remember, three small benches on either side, and that was St. Peter's tomb. So,
oh my God,
it gives me goosebumps now just talking about it.
Wow.
And that was like, a place that, billions of people.
Yeah, they base their religion on. And
I'm sure they would love to have been there. And it was like, and at that, like I say, I'm getting goosebumps right now, but when I walked in there, I just went, wow, this is
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Yeah. And Jared, we went to France, and did Paris, which is great. But then we left Paris and we went up to Normandy, and we went up to Omaha Beach, Beach, everywhere up there. His parents were with us too, and his dad was a big, huge war buff.
Yeah.
So we were on the beaches and stuff there, and that again is just you can still smell it. You can smell it. You can still smell the diesel fuel and everything else, and there's still gun positions, and there's still tanks in the water.
Wow! Oh my gosh!
That sort of thing, and that once again was similar to walking into the Vatican, walking into that arena that it was fantastic. And those are the two trips that really stuck with me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that and water slides in Dubai, but that's for a whole nother reason.
Wow. Yeah, but I have not done those three things, so it sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I might sit in a car for 12 hours and make travel arrangements to be able to do that.
It's pretty neat. I told Jared about this too. That French food's wasted on me because I'm a meat and potatoes guy, so I'm not into the fancy sauces and stuff like that.
Sure.
Just give me my steak and I'll move on. But
no, it does. I mean, it does. It does make it. What an amazing access. What an amazing, again and again, partnership. They're like, Clif, we're doing this thing. Let's go do this thing. We're doing water slides in Dubai. Let's go.
Yeah. That was amazing. That was a lot of fun.
So one of the facts that the fandom loves about Supernatural is that Jared met his wife Genevieve on this show. And for people who aren't Supernatural fans, if anyone's watching not a Supernatural fan, the star Jared Padalecki met his wife Genevieve called Jen on the third season. Was that third season?
I think it was.
People are going to definitely let us know. Fourth season. It's fourth season.
I should know this.
Fourth season, I think. Anyway, met his wife on the show, and she played a demon named Ruby. And you were already their close protective specialist at this point. You've been there since the beginning of that relationship,
and paying attention.
Yeah, and so there was a moment where.
Well, yeah, we were sitting. I was in the driver's seat. Jensen was over here. Jared was in the back, and Jared had been, being cagey, and he's kind of like, "Hey, what do you guys think about that girl that's playing Ruby?" And we're both like, "Dude, like, really? You can't hide this. We know what you're, yeah." So we kind of it was one of those moments where okay, he's done. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that was it. And then it's all he ever talked about.
Oh God, that is just so phenomenal. So you've literally been. They now have, people don't know, they now have 3 children, multiple dogs. A whole life that they've.
And that's
built
why I'm
together.
growing this beard, because Odette, their little girl, said that I look like Santa, so I might as well grow the beard.
And it's just I do think those elements of Supernatural that make it feel like family, and that there is a family that actually.
That's the big thing about the show. Right?
Yeah,
it's everyone is a family.
Yeah,
and when going back to conventions, when you go there, there's nobody shunning. There's nobody being a jerk. There's nobody being don't stand too close to me. It's them with open arms and bringing people in, and and that's why I think our show for that stuff was such a big success.
Yeah.
Creation will attest to that. Why it did work so well is because the guys were so inviting. Because we've seen and been to conventions where it's
sure
stoic, and it's not.
Yeah,
So
and no,
fun.
and I mean, I complete like for someone who's not experienced it, their level of true joy when they're up on the stage and talking about their lives and taking questions and talking about the show, and then the way they get in there.
Oh, hello again.
With questions.
Different family this time.
Everyone loves this room. They know you're here.
That's it. Yeah, my fans. People, please stay back.
They know you're here.
Yeah, they're here for Peter.
That's right. Wait, honey. Yeah, they do know. Anyway, the true engagement, and that's what makes it feel like family. Yeah. That's what makes it feel like something that you're part of. It's greater than a TV show that you can watch 15 seasons of. But it does. It makes it feel.
And if you don't watch this show, just to get a feeling of what the guys are like, just go on YouTube and watch the gag reels from Supernatural, because then you'll see what they're like.
Yeah,
the gag reels and their stage talks that they do at conventions when the two of them are on stage. That's that.
Yeah, it does. It feels so organic, and I didn't anticipate that when I first went. You have really obviously amazing insight into them both. You've known them pretty intensely. Can you tell us one thing the fandom would be surprised to know about Jensen?
He has too many blue jeans.
Way too many blue jeans.
Way too many blue jeans. Yeah. I was thinking about opening a blue jeans store. It'd just be Jensen Ackles blue jeans. I'd have made a mint.
Those would sell quite well.
The amount of stuff I took to Goodwill for him, I tell you. If there are fans watching, they'll be going, "My God, what? Which Goodwill? Which Goodwill? I'm going there."
Yeah, they'd make them into purses, pillows. Oh, they would sell. Let me tell you.
Jared, as the fans know, the exact opposite. Lives in American Eagle T-shirts and whatever jeans he took from set, whatever he was wearing that day. He would just come home in those
baggy, oversized jeans that were always so baggy.
That's him. It's just those jeans and those T-shirts. As soon as if he would go to town, he'd go, "Oh gosh, we're gonna find an American Eagle store." I'm like, "What for?" Because you need 8 more T-shirts today. Well, he does, because he's sweats like a mule. But,
those pants always just look like they would just fall right off of it. Like they were just so oversized.
Oh, here's a funny one for you for Jensen.
Okay.
If everyone wants to watch Folsom Prison Blues, you will never see a better fitting orange jumpsuit on anyone in that show when you look at Jensen Ackles.
Why?
Because he had it tailored to make sure it fit nice. The rest of us are in baggy. Well, I'm not in baggy because I'm too fat.
Fit. You're fit too.
No, I was really big for that episode. So we're gonna go. Wow, well fitting.
That's a gorgeous jumpsuit on you, Jensen.
It's a haute couture jumpsuit, orange jumpsuit. Yeah.
Is there a fun fact about it, or a surprising fact about Jared, the fandom, beyond all the American Eagle outfits?
Oh my gosh, a fun fact about him. Wow.
And I prepped him for this question. I was like, and obviously I'm not asking for anything personal or salacious.
No, but it's just, I'm trying to think of all the stuff that we do daily.
Sure.
That we do daily. Oh gosh. Oh. He has more beanies, of course, than anyone on the planet.
Okay, beanies. So you do have a clothing store all set up for you.
He's got more beanies than anyone on the planet, and he's got more of, I can't remember the name of them, but go in the pantry and open the pantry, and there's shelves of these healthy sugar treats that we get cases of every week sent to the house. And it's all these things, and he's always, packet of those. But the biggest hit for all of them is because in my fridge, I keep a pack of M&Ms.
Sure.
Peanut M&Ms.
Okay, yeah.
And I know how many M&Ms I eat. And my M&Ms keep going missing. So, because Jen will come over, and she'll say, "So how's it going? Take a handful of
Look
M&Ms
away.
Because when they're not there, no one asks for them.
Sure,
but when they're there, they vanish.
It's a peanut M&M, of
I know.
course.
And then the kids found out, and they'd come over, and Shep comes over and goes, "Can I have some M&Ms?" I said, "Sure." So he's in there. Handfuls, filling up his pocket on his shirt. I think he purposely wore that pocketed shirt.
If anyone follows Jen or Jared on social media, they know that they have a very healthy lifestyle, and they're very focused.
This is their little thing. There's like in the other house, it is, and same with the kids. I mean, I every time we sit down for dinner and I watch the kids eat, I'm like, how did you get them to do that?
Yeah.
And they're eating the beans, they're eating the asparagus,
The kale,
they're eating the kale, they're eating all this other stuff. And then if they eat all that stuff, then sure, you can have a little treat after. Just a little treat. You know?
So no wonder their daughter thinks of you as Santa Claus, because you bring the peanut M&Ms, and that's like big. That's big time.
I love out of the mouths of babes. You should be Santa. Why is that? Well, because you're fat.
Excellent. Thank you.
Come on, not that bad. Because your beard too. Your beard's good. Why are you bald? Where'd your hair go? I don't know.
Why can you be so mean when you're so little?
She is absolute dynamite.
Yeah.
She walks into a room and it's like, da-da, okay, everyone, here I am.
Yeah, I imagine.
Everyone wants to come talk to me, you know? Yeah.
I imagine. I've got 2 sons, and imagine a little girl being around, just being like, just about the best thing ever.
You got to keep on a leash at the mall, because she's just going to go off with whoever's there.
Oh, God.
Right?
Good to know.
What are you doing? Okay, let's go with you.
Oh, God. Yeah. Friendly. Yeah. I do think there's a lot to be said about kids who are very comfortable with strangers. It means they've been raised in a safe household. Like,
I do remember a story I wanted to tell you. If we do have time?
We do have. Yeah, we have a little bit of time.
Let's be a quick one. About a security situation at Jared's house.
Sure. Wow. So that's scary.
One of my things is I'm the first call when there's something problem with the house security.
Of course.
And this is his house up in Vancouver.
Okay.
So I get a call and they say, we've got a break-in. Someone's here. We've got him in handcuffs. The police attended and arrested him. I said, okay, great.
Wow.
So I said, I'm on my way. And we're the studio in Vancouver is about 35, 40 minutes from the house. So.
Okay.
So I'm whipping up there. I brought a buddy with me just because. And pull in the driveway, and they've got a guy in handcuffs. And I start, peeing myself because they have Superman in handcuffs.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Tom Welling?
Tom Welling is in handcuffs.
Oh, no.
Because he was storing some stuff at Jared's house, hit the wrong code. So it's a police response alarm. So I walk in, I get on the car, and I'm like, how's it going? He goes, pretty good, Cliff. How are you? I said, pretty good. How's your day going?
No.
And the police officer goes, so you know him? And I said, yeah, I know him. He kept telling us who he was, but we had to make sure. And I said, absolutely, it's fine. So that's the big security break-in at Jared's house. So now people are going to message Tom Welling. Did this really happen? Yes, it happened.
You're like, did you not recognize Superman?
Nothing else. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that is a good one. I've never heard that one. That one is awesome.
I don't think I've even told it before.
Oh my God.
I was just trying to remember something that was really funny. So yeah.
So we're gonna have to start wrapping up. I've got this wonderderful person with this incredible line of work sitting here. If I was somebody who was interested in going into this line of work, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about becoming a close protection specialist, so I can go to the Vatican. No, I know that's not why you do it. But what's the one piece of advice you would give somebody who was interested in doing your job?
Get ready to give up all of your time.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not a job. I know guys manage it for their families and stuff like that because they probably have regular jobs.
Yeah.
But if you're a corporate gig, I can understand. You're doing your thing and you'll go here and there. But if you're going to try and get the entertainment side, that's the hardest place to get into.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely life and time consuming.
Yeah.
But if you love it, which I do, I don't have a problem with it. Works all right with me. So.
I mean, I don't think I can end on a better note than that. I am a crier, and I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry.
It's dusty in here.
Yes, exactly.
It's dusty.
I cannot thank you enough for doing this for me.
I'm glad you called.
I
had absolutely nothing else to do, so I thought I'd pop out.
It really is an amazing thing. As a fan, I am really just squealing inside, but I kept it cool for you it's really an amazing thing you did. Thank you.
Here's a plug for those who are not fans, who are just fans of yours.
Yeah.
My brother and I did do a documentary. It's called Supernatural Fandom.
Yes.
So you can just hassle my brother. It's Mitch Kosterman. Just look for him. He'll find it. He'll tell you how to get to it, and you should watch. You should watch it. It explains what it is that you find out about the show, and then people can watch it, and they can go, oh,
And what's the name of it?
Supernatural Fandom.
Supernatural Fandom. And where can they find it? Just Google Supernatural.
Just Google Mitch.
Okay.
Google my brother.
Mitch Kosterman, Kosterman.
He'll find it for you. He tells me all the time where it is, and I'm like, whatever.
You can Google me too. I will tell. I will help you. Cliff has got a lot of things. One of them is not his technology prowess.
No, still no.
But yes, Supernatural Fandom. Google it. Watch that incredible documentary. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
From the Supernatural Fandom, thank you for taking care of our Dean and Sam. Thank you for taking such good care of them.
And we'll be back soon, so that they can come out and see us. They won't be Sam and Dean anymore. They'll be Soldier Boy and Walker.
Soldier Boy and Walker. That's
now
correct.
We have to bring all sorts of different wardrobes. We're gonna have photo ops for this and that, and that. Super Creation's going right now. Shut up! No, we're not gonna do that.
All of oh my God, so many suit outfits and so many cosplays, and it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We're all gonna meet again. It's gonna be awesome. Thank you for being here. If you're interested in the book, it's Serving Sin by Angelina M. Lopez. It's the final of my Filthy Rich series. Go buy it at One More Page Books, the most incredible independent bookstore out of Arlington, Virginia. You can go online and get a signed copy of my book. I am actually going to be giving away 3 signed copies with a Clif signed as well. I and Clif is signed.
Priceless.
So if you go on my newsletter, it's angelinamlopez.com. Sign up for my newsletter, and the next newsletter I send out, I'm going to offer Clif's signature Serving Sin book as well. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you to One More Page Books. I don't know if Lilia's going to be coming back on to sign us off.
I came back to make sure you didn't cry. I'm the cry and to plug all the stuff that you guys were just plugging. So yes, also I looked up the Family Brewing, and it looks amazing. That was in I can drop that link. Family Business Brewing. In Texas, everyone should check that out. And please, I'm assuming everyone here already follows Clif. Great work on social media, but please follow Angelina too. I can attest there is excellent supernatural content. So she's at Angelina M. Low on Twitter, and definitely sign up for her newsletter. It is also worthwhile. And who doesn't want to win a signed copy of her book that Clif signed?
I do. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I can't tell you how grateful I am to both of you for sharing. So much. But thank you for all those amazing stories, Clif. Angelina, thank you for having this phenomenal idea and for writing such great books with such memorable characters. I think it really shows. It just sort of does feel like the fandom equivalent of, you get that feeling of just other readers who love to read something with a happy ending. And I love your trilogy, and I hope everyone will go buy Serving Sin and Lush Money, which is book 1. I put the link for the signed copies in the comments. And yeah, thank you again so much. And thank you to everyone else for being here and for watching.
Thanks whoever showed up.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thanks, Lilia.